Welcome to the project management video tip of the day. Today we are going to talk about work performance in a project. Throughout the life of a project, a significant amount of data is collected, analyzed, and transformed. So we are concerned here about what happens to data, how it gets processed, analyzed, and ultimately what becomes of this data. So this is the talk of the town today. We have this data taking three shapes. First, it is work performance data, then work performance information, and then work performance report. So let's talk about each one of them. Briefly, project data is collected as a result of various processes and are shared within the project team. So this data is basically happening. It is being created during the execution of the project. The collected data are analyzed in context, aggregated, and transformed to become project information during various processes. And now, what are these processes? These are the processes of monitoring and control. So all the work performance data coming from execution from the process direct and manage project work, this data is being shared with various monitors and controls representing all the 10 knowledge areas, and each one of them compares this data against the project management plan and the baselines, scope, time and cost baselines, and it analyzes it, and the result coming out of each of these monitors and controls is the work performance information. Information is then communicated verbally, are stored and distributed in various formats, and this is how the report comes into being. First of all, talking briefly in more detail about work performance data. Work performance data, this is the raw observations and measurements identified during activities performed to carry out the project work, meaning it is happening in execution. While the work is being done, certain raw observations are being collected, like, an activity has started at a specific point in time. So that time is recorded somewhere. An activity finishes at a specific point in time, that time is again recorded somewhere. Whatever happens to that activity, according to the schedule or off the schedule, whatever is happening, all these messages are being recorded in data. So measurements and details about activities gathered during the direct and managed project work process in executing process group. Naturally, during execution, the process which is responsible for implementing the project management plan is direct and managed project work. So this is responsible for getting the things executed, and once the project is being executed, a lot of data is being generated. Now, what happens to that data and how does it become work performance information? The performance data collected from various controlling processes, analyzed in context and integrated based on relationships across areas. Work performance analyzed to make sure it conforms to the project management plan and to assess what it means for project as a whole. You see, work performance once analyzed, it becomes, no, any data once analyzed or processed, it becomes information. So basically through this analysis, we are basically comparing two things: the project management plan or the baseline with the work performance data, and whatever are the variances, the variance analysis being to be done, trend analysis or whatever kinds of analysis or forecasts are to be done, this is all the analysis being carried out. And the result of this analysis is the work performance information. Now this work performance information now gets into the shape of work performance report. How? The compiled representation of work performance information intended to generate decisions or raise issues, actions, and awareness. All these work performance informations which were generated from various monitors and controls during the monitoring and control process group, all of these informations coming from various different knowledge areas, they are to be compiled together to convert it into a consolidated report. So this consolidation gives birth to a generic shape of a report, and this, because this is a bird's eye view, this is the big picture, the holistic picture of the whole work performance, so we are now able to take decisions on these things. Actually, this is analyzed data, properly compiled, and now we can take decisions, we can raise issues, actions, and awareness. Work performance information consolidated and organized into reports. And what is the purpose of these reports? These reports are to be shared or distributed with the stakeholders. These stakeholders need to know what is happening. We need to keep the things transparent, but at the same time, we want to be sure that only the relevant information reaches the stakeholder. We don't want to overburden a stakeholder. At the same time, we do not want to hide any information from any stakeholder. So we are basically taking control of this distribution. So work performance report is the thing which reaches the stakeholder, and their needs and expectations we noted earlier are then being satisfied by this report.